Hey guys, welcome back to Peak Reef. Another week is gone. It's the holidays. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves, staying warm. Down here in Tampa, it got cold, so whatever about that, I guess. But moving on, today is a big deal for me because I have finally finished a 3-week test of the Tidal 75 filter that I turned into what I'd like to say is a hang on the back Refugium. I originally wanted to throw it right out there to you guys right off the bat, but I decided I needed to test it first before we go ahead and say, hey, you should do this. So, moving forward, up here on the top, you'll see a picture-in-a-picture for you guys to see what the actual filter looks like. Again, as a reminder, this is the actual basket inside of it. So you can see there's tons of room. Now, with this filter, what a Refugium is not only a filter, but it also grows whatever type of macroalgae you want to grow. I'm doing the dragon's tongue, dragon's breath, there's a lot of names for it. It appears to be growing pretty well after 3 weeks here. Now, I always keep Purigen. Purigen's good for nitrates, silicates in the water. The macroalgae is more for the phosphates and a little bit of the nitrates. So this makes it a bio filter and a mechanical filter. Next one that we're gonna have here, and covered in pods, which is a good sign. Little critters living in the filters. And this one is going to be the carbon that I run. You can see that. I use Seachem carbon balls or pellets, whatever you want to call them. And then down here is the Seachem matrix, which is another type of biofiltration. And man, this thing is just loaded with pods. I'm assuming they're getting sucked up in the filter and living in here in the macroalgae, which is awesome. And then my initial filter is just a old school marine land filter. I use the pads. You can get this on Amazon. I think it's $4 for a whole bag, a whole roll of it. And that one makes 12 filters. So I'm always about budget. So you can see that right there. 12 filters for $4, you can't really beat it. Now, what you're gonna do is just reverse the process. You can take your filter pad, put it right here. Hasn't been very long on the biofiltration, like the bio ball, the matrix, or the Purigen. The Purigen's still pretty white, so we're gonna leave that in there. I like to do the matrix right after that. Matrix is a great place for bacterial home. It's also apparently a great place for your copepods, amphipods, which is great because they help keep your tank clean. I haven't been running this very long. I'll probably run it for another couple weeks, then change out. That's the carbon. I usually like to change out carbon about every, I'd say every month. About every 30 days I'll change it out, put new carbon in there. Carbon strips any impurities, chemicals, things like that, smells, stenches, keeps your tank kind of happy in that way. After the the Seachem carbon, throw the Purigen in there. Purigen's still good, it's still pretty white. And then on top of all that goodness, you're gonna go ahead and throw your macroalgae back on top. Now, a lot of you probably wondering, what's the point of a Refugium? Why do you need one? Refugiums are more of a natural way to filter your tank. You're using the plants to outcompete the microalgae, like hair algae, as you can probably see right here. I'll scrub that off with a toothbrush. To outcompete the algae in your display tank to keep your display tank clean. So if you have another plant inside your filter to eat up the phosphates and some of the nitrates and other things, and also house these copepods, amphipods, and other types of pods, your filter is now the place where all the nasty stuff is and gets taken away and taken out of the water instead of your display, where if you didn't have something like this, your display could become the place that basically filters out all the phosphates and nitrates and bad stuff. Now, that this is done. We've done the filter change. I've shown you guys that save a couple bucks, go with the Marineland filter floss. And other than that, you're gonna need a decent light, nothing crazy. I use actually a 50/50 LED light I got on Amazon. I think I paid $7. It's blues and whites. Since it's the Dragon's Breath, it does phosphorus, so I thought it'd be a good light to go with. It needs more blue and white than it does just white in it. The pinks and reds are typically your better growing lights, but I couldn't find any that weren't a decent deal, so I decided to roll the dice and try this out. I'll throw a picture up top there of what the light looks like. It's real easy. It runs on my power strip, which is a smart power strip for 12 hours a day. You want to run your light opposite of what your display light is. My understanding is it helps with your alkalinity levels, keeps them balanced if you run the light schedule for your plants separate than the light schedule of your coral. That is pretty much our 3-week update. It appears to be working really well on my Blenny and my what is that guy called? Urchin are seeming to keep up with any algae that was left in there. I'm not having any cyano problems, and I'm not running Fosguard anymore ever since I put the macroalgae in there. So things seem to be working out perfectly. Obviously, if anything changes, I'll let you know. Now, the reason why we went with the Seachem Tidal filter and not the other ones that you see a lot of is the basket's massive. It has plenty of power to circulate a tank. This is technically for a 75-gallon tank, but I have it on a 20. But the Seachem Tidal is adjustable on the top and the bottom. And the nice thing about that is it doesn't matter how big this filter is, you can adjust it back to whatever flow you want that is safe and healthy for your tank. Also, the reason why I went with the Tidal that other filters don't have built into it typically is it has a surface skimmer. This keeps the oil off the top of your tank and allows good oxygen exchange while the tank's running. Because in saltwater tanks, as different than freshwater, as some of you may not know, freshwater you can oxygenate the water easily with bubblers and things like that. Saltwater gas exchange, it is initiated by surface agitation. So you have the surface skimmer to pull the oils off the top, and then the wave makers to agitate the surface that allows good oxygenation of the water. So after 3 weeks, I'm impressed. If you guys are looking for a somewhat budget-friendly, it's not the most budget-friendly. This filter is, I think, $60. But when compared to a whole setup of, brand new setup that's a 30-gallon, like, Innovative Marine, that's, over $1,500 or $1,200, where I have a 20-gallon tank that I got at the Petco sale for 20 bucks and a $60 filter. Things can be done in a budget. This is one of the ways that I'm doing it. I like, clean it, sleek it looks. It cleaned up the tank a lot. And I'll post up maybe another video showing you guys what it looks like now with the new equipment. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions, throw it in the comments. Hit that bell icon, subscribe, and let's keep reefing, and I'll see you next time at Peak Reef.